Flylady Diane here. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to Zone 3 in the Flylady system. Now, Zone 3 is always the third week in the month, so Zone 3, Week 3. And we always have, of course, because of calendar months, we always have a full week in here to do decluttering and to do detail cleaning. Now, remember, we do a 1 hour weekly house blessing, which is a surface clean of the main areas of the house. But then when we are in the zones, in each zone, we get to do a little more cleaning, detail cleaning, work on the decluttering. That's where we've got our focus for that week. Now, Zone 3 is the bathroom. I'm in our main bathroom, but it is also one other room. So when you see the Flylady missions or when you look on the detailed cleaning lists for Zone 3, there will be other rooms. Now, I've taken a couple of things because I knew I would forget to tell you about it. Zone 3 can also be kids' bedrooms. This is the time when you'll be working on kids' bedrooms, because your own bedroom, the master bedroom, that's next week. That's Zone 4, Week 4. So Zone 3 can also be kids' bedrooms. Zone 3 can also be, the other room of your choice can be the office, it can be the garage. If you have a garden, you might have a garden shed. It's those areas which we need to keep on our radar, but maybe don't need to work on, every month. We're just going to try and do a little bit when we can. Now, when you're in Zone 3, when you're doing any kind of zone work, when you're doing any kind of work, the main thing to have with you is your timer. Make sure you set your timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Please don't go overboard. All we want you to do is just use your timer to get you started. And then when the timer goes off, you give yourself a big pat on the shoulder and say, "Go me." Then you can go and take a break, or you can go for another 15-minute session. But please, the idea of Flylady is that we do not have to clean all day long, all week long, because when we don't have a system for things, we're just kind of, we're turning our wheels the whole time. We don't know where to start, where to stop. That's why the Flylady system is so fantastic. It's all thought out for you. We have the zones, so you're going to be going through the whole of the house. We're not going to forget anything. But you know what? If you don't get to bathroom Zone 3 this week, don't worry, because it comes around next month and it comes around the next month, all right? But we just want you to do a little bit. The other thing that you're going to need, apart from your trusty timer, and as I've said before, I like to use, a physical kitchen timer, because if I start using my phone as my timer, you know what happens? Then I start checking what's going on Facebook, and before you know it, I've ordered something off Amazon. You know what it's like. We've got to stop all those notifications. So that's why, I turn everything off when I do one of my missions, and I just use my timer, and that keeps me focused. All right, so that's the first thing you're going to have. You're also going to need to be, as usual, there we go, I am dressed to shoes. Make sure you've got indoor shoes on, or some kind of lace-up shoes. We don't want any accidents. And you know what, when you've got shoes on, some kind of indoor shoes, I'm not talking about big clumpy boots, all right? We're just talking about a soft plimsoll. And remember, we're not using these shoes outside, so we're not tracking in all the dirt. And I know you'll do anything, you'll come up with any excuse not to wear them. But really, when you put your shoes on, it does encourage you to work. And you know what? When you're finished working, you can take them off again. As I said, I'm not your mother. I'm not telling you to wear the shoes all day. But if you want to get things done in your house, in your home, with your family, you're going to have to put those shoes on. All right? Anyway, so shoes, your timer, and I've always got, as I've showed you before, my little cleaning caddy, and that I just carry about with me in the house. I've got some rubbish bags, so I can empty the rubbish in the bathroom or in the garage or in the office, whichever area I'm working in. I've got some window cleaner, because remember, when we clean windows, we don't need to get the bucket out and the soapy water and the old newspapers. you can just take a bit of Windex, you know, generic window cleaner, give it a quick scoosh and wipe it down, all right? It doesn't need to take 3 days to clean windows. And I've got my water bottle here and, you know, my dusting mitts and, you know, a couple of rags. That way I've got everything that I need so that when I'm doing 15 minutes, you know, quite often I'll get through the mission, the day's mission, in less than 15 minutes, and then I can just do something else in that zone. And while we're talking about zones, try and keep in these zones as much as possible. For example, when you are doing your weekly home blessing, whether you spread it over the whole week or whether you do it in one go, in weekly home blessing we have mopping, and we have wiping windows and mirrors, and you can see in our bathroom we have a lot of mirrors. Yep. I like to stay in the zone, so when I'm doing weekly home blessing, when I get to the task that says clean mirrors, wipe down, you know, glass doors, I do it in the zone that we're in. Do you get that? So when we're in zone 3, which is the bathroom and one other room, I either do the bathroom mirrors during weekly home blessing, or I maybe do the office windows. Do you see how that works? I'm just, that way I don't kind of miss anything. It's all being done at the same time. Also, when you're in the zone, you might need to think about, is there anything that you need to stock up on? We're in the bathroom this week for zone missions. Why don't you think about, you know, do you need toilet paper? Do you need shampoo? Do you need hair gel? Think about those kind of items. Also, when you're decluttering, when you're in zone 3, the bathroom, you know, is there some makeup that's maybe past its best? What about the towels? Have you got some old grotty towels that really should be used as rags now? Just think about that whole zone. That's the great thing about Flylady. We just focus on one zone every week, and they come around every month, so they repeat themselves. So we're just focusing on the task. And focus, that's the best thing for us. If we can just sit down and focus, or get up off our behinds and focus for 15 minutes. Now, before I finish this little video about zone 3, the bathroom, plus one other room of your choice, I just want to tell you a little story, because this week we had a problem with a leaky toilet. I'll just show you, it's not quite finished yet. There's our toilet there. And you know what was so fantastic this week is that we spotted the problem with the toilet that was leaking, couldn't fix it ourselves, and I could ring the plumber immediately. Can you imagine that? I didn't, you know, beforehand, if that kind of thing had happened in our house, it would take me 3 days before I actually phoned the plumber, because I was embarrassed about the house, about him coming in to the hall, coming into the bathroom, maybe having to be in the cellar, you know, working on the pipes. That is what we want for you at Flylady, that you just have this peace. And my home is not perfect. It's, you know, I'm sure you could find loads of little dust bunnies to be removed, but I can let people into my house, I can invite people over, and that's what we want for you. We want the balance, okay? We want the house that is, you know, that, as Flylady says, that hugs us, that's just cozy and relatively tidy, and we're just keeping things ticking over. So that's what we want for you this week and every week. So see if you can do something in zone 3. If you've got the Flylady Plus app, that's the app that Marla's nephew Alex came up with in Flylady Premium, the Flylady Plus. It's free in the App Store. If you go in there, you'll see the missions for the week for zone 3 plus one other room. So the missions could be, you know, one day could be in the bathroom, another day could be in the office. Just take those as a guide. And there are also detailed cleaning lists. If you prefer to do it that way, it's up to you. But just promise me that you won't get overwhelmed, that you'll use a timer, you'll be dressed to shoes, and you'll just get something done and be pleased with yourself. All right, so that's it for me, Flylady Diane, signing off from beautifully sunny Copenhagen. Hooray, the spring is finally on its way, and I shall see you very soon. And remember, you can choose yourself what the other room is for zone 3. The bathroom plus, as I said, kids' bedrooms, help your kids. Look in your office, maybe you just need to spend 5 minutes filling up printer paper, checking toner. That's another thing you might want to put on your grocery list. Yeah, anyway, that's it for me. See you very soon and live long and prosper.